Here's your news for June 14th, 2020. And your headlines for today include, finally, the real reason why AJ Styles moved from Raw to SmackDown revealed. Has the WWE killed the Smackdown mystery hacker storyline? WWE finally takes a big decision on Shayna Baszler. Concerning news about a recently injured WWE wrestler. What led to DeJoseph's release? He finally breaks his silence. Enzo Amore returns to wrestling. The initial plans of Randy Orton vs. Edge revealed. Is Vince Russo heading to Impact Wrestling? Russo finally clarifies, and more. We're starting off with some news from the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Recently, Styles was moved over to SmackDown from Raw following Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson's releases. The reason for this move is finally known. Following AJ Styles' move to SmackDown, he admitted to being upset by Anderson and Gallows' WWE departures, stating that he felt responsible. The phenomenal one evidently directed his disappointment at former executive director of Raw, Paul Heyman. Dave Meltzer posted in the Wrestling Observer message boards where he revealed that AJ Styles blamed Paul Heyman for his friend's firings. Actually, the reason was that he was furious that Gallows and Anderson were fired. Blamed Heyman. Classic case of JJ Laurinaitis syndrome. Vince is the one who made the decision, but I suppose he felt Heyman could have fought him on it. So he wanted to go to the side where the guy in charge isn't fighting Vince on something like that either. Following the Good Brothers release, AJ and Heyman didn't see eye to eye on many things, and finally AJ requested his move to SmackDown. Has Paul made efforts to convince Vince? We surely don't know at this moment, but we all do know that nobody can win over the old man. Sticking with news on SmackDown, the mystery hacker made headlines and kept fans guessing for months. Glitches interrupted the broadcast and other clues dropped along the way. The hacker was always watching. Suddenly, the hacker vanished. It's been weeks since the SmackDown mystery hacker appeared on the Fox broadcast. The last tweet from the hacker's Twitter account for the message has been dormant since May 28th as of this writing. Ringside News has learned that the SmackDown hacker angle is not dead. Something is still going on, but they're waiting. We're told by a source in the company that those in the know are being coy about the subject. From SmackDown to Raw next, as Shayna Baszler's official WWE superstar profile now lists her as a Raw superstar. This is very different from how her page appeared just a week ago. Baszler was still listed as an NXT superstar on her official profile as of last week. It appears this change was made on June 11th. Let's see when Baszler appears on Raw. We're looking ahead to tonight's Backlash pay-per-view, which happens after some major creative shifts behind the scenes. With Paul Heyman out of the role as Raw's executive director, Wrestling News is reporting that many of the ECW magnates' plans are being changed and that there have been some big shifts to tonight's show. They said, "I was told that there were changes made on the SmackDown side, but most of the ideas scrapped were from the Raw side." Their report also noted that McMahon has reportedly already made a change to the finish of one match, and there is also apparent concern by superstars that Vince will be hacking away at current angles. WWE Backlash will be the first chance for WWE to exhibit their new direction, and time will tell what this new vision for the company is and how it'll be received by fans. Moving on, we have an update from Jinder Mahal next, as the past 2 years certainly haven't been favorable to the modern-day Maharaja. As previously reported, the former WWE champion underwent surgery in Birmingham, Alabama to fix issues with his knee, but fans shouldn't expect him back anytime soon. In an update on Mahal's condition, Dave Meltzer explained that although he went in for a minor surgery, the damage to Mahal's knee is much more significant than expected. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer brought up the planned feud between Mahal and Drew McIntyre, though added that the feud between the two former partners would have been a one-match thing and not a long-term program. As of this video, there is no word on how long the modern-day Maharaja will be out of action, but it's obviously longer than first expected. The injury couldn't have come at a worse time for Mahal, who spent the majority of the past year on the shelf before returning on the April 27th Raw, and hopefully the former world champion will be able to remain safe when he eventually returns. Speaking of people being removed from roles, DeJoseph was recently fired from his position as SmackDown's lead writer, allegedly due to his behavior behind the scenes. Released due to his behavior during company meetings as well as having inappropriate conduct and remarks, it was also reported that it was something that happened with Vince McMahon that led to his dismissal, and now more details have come to light. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the most consistent story is that DeJoseph was on a Zoom conference call with some very important people that went wrong. Speaking to Senior VP of Creative Services Stan Stansky and Senior VP of E-Commerce and Venue Merchandise Kevin Moore, DeJoseph reportedly made some personal comments about Vince McMahon and the McMahon family in general, and it came off in a bad way to Moore and Stansky. Earlier, we also reported that Vince and DeJoseph have had a few arguments in the past over a few storylines, and when McMahon found out about DeJoseph's latest comments, he was sent packing, and given that the company is currently looking for a new lead writer for Smackdown, hopefully his replacement will know what to say and what not to say to people who can contact the chairman of the board. DeJoseph finally broke his silence regarding his WWE release in a tweet on June 13th. Without naming any names, DeJoseph elaborated that he had no interest in giving his life away to the unpredictable whims of one person, before wishing Bruce Pritchard the best of luck and saying that he believes in the vision of the newly appointed executive director of both Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. From one current WWE superstar to a former one next, as Enzo Amore hasn't wrestled much since being fired in 2018, but that recently changed. This week, a video emerged of the former Cruiserweight champion locking up with CZW's KC Navarra, though due to the ongoing global situation and the importance of social distancing, this was a private event. On Twitter, Enzo gave Navarro props, saying that their match was as fulfilling as any arena match, and teased that the CZW star has a bright future ahead of him as well. Since his firing from WWE over allegations that were later squashed due to insufficient evidence, Enzo has been focused mostly on his music career, even releasing an emotional rap rock track about the ongoing situation. Whilst Amore hasn't hinted at returning to the ring, other than appearing in the crowd at a couple of events, this video is sure to get people speculating, and it wouldn't be too surprising if the self-proclaimed undefeated Cruiserweight champion returns to the ring, just not in WWE. We are looking ahead to this Sunday's Backlash pay-per-view, as the greatest wrestling match ever between Edge and Randy Orton is happening sooner than planned. According to a report from Ringside News, this rematch between the Viper and the Rated R Superstar was supposed to take place at SummerSlam, though the current situation going on in the company made Vince McMahon move it up the timeline. One source indicated that the ongoing global situation was a factor in these plans changing, as McMahon has relied more so on veteran superstars at this unprecedented time. The source said, "Vince lost patience with the building of new stars and just wanted to use the star power of people who were established. If the WWE are wanting to use names with star power, then there's fewer wrestlers at the moment with more name value than Edge and Orton, and with their greatest wrestling match ever being pre-recorded, the company has time to make it look as good as possible." Speaking of big names in WWE, the company recently lost Becky Lynch, as the former Raw Women's Champion is currently pregnant, and she isn't the only superstar with babies on the brain. Recently, Charlotte Flair appeared on Better Together with Maria Menounos when the topic of kids came up, and said that her fiancé Andrade is ready to become a dad. As for the Queen herself, though, she did question if this is the right time to be starting a family, adding, "When's the right time? Am I selling myself short for not trying to reach for bigger things? Of course I think about it because of my age, but being able to face Trish Stratus at SummerSlam and seeing her as a mother of two, and being considered the greatest of all time, and have the best match on the show, makes me see you don't need to worry about when and why and where." In case you're wondering, Charlotte is 34 years old, and whilst the former women's champion doesn't know if this is the right time, she's sure she doesn't want to stop at just one baby. "I want the whole fairy tale. I want 3 kids, 4 kids, I want all of it. It's just, I don't know how. This isn't just it now and then I go have kids. I really want to try and be an action figure in a movie, but I don't know how to write it." Time will tell whether the Queen of all eras has a few princes or princesses of her own, but we can only imagine what life would be like to have the 16-time world champion Ric Flair as a grandfather. We've got news from Impact Wrestling next, as they've had some buzz around their Slammiversary commercial that teased former WWE superstars, but whatever they have planned, it doesn't involve Vince Russo. Speaking publicly, Russo made it clear he's not back with Impact, despite rumors saying that he was. And though he did work for TNA, those days are over now. He added, "The dirt sheets are stirring up that I'm consulting for TNA again. Hate to kill their false BS, but I'm not. Russo'sBrand.com is a full-time job, and I wouldn't trade it for the world." It should be noted that we here at Slat Rock never reported that he was back, and whilst Russo has a lot on his plate right now, a return to Impact isn't on his agenda. And we're ending with news from the world of movies now, as whilst big names like The Rock, John Cena, and Batista have become Hollywood megastars, not every superstar wants to make it big on the silver screen. Speaking to TV Insider, The Undertaker spoke about turning down scripts in films and TV shows, and even spoke about telling the WWE he wasn't interested in doing outside projects, and then coming back as The Undertaker. He added, "I had already made the decision I wasn't going to do anything like that. It wasn't a big thing to me. I know where I wanted to be. I didn't have aspirations at the time of being a crossover movie star. It was not where my motivation was. I was The Undertaker, I was in WWE, that was my passion and where I put all my time and energy. I don't have any regrets." Standing at close to 7 feet tall with a truly unique look, the dead man could have easily broken into the movie business. And it's his dedication to stay in WWE that helps add to his reputation as the greatest and most loyal WWE superstar of all time.